Let me say this. I'm not a prophet, but I think I could be a prophet by the end of the 17th episode, which is our last episode in this season. You won't be single.
Everyone assumes that they're the best lover around. Even single people like me think, no, I'm going to be a better husband than that guy.
Okay. It's a sin to be in a relationship with someone that you do not have feelings for.
Boom.
The girl looks sexy and I'm moved. My emotions and things start happening. Blood starts running. And I feel like, I need to get this one in between the sheets. Next thing, it's done when in between the sheets. Then I realized I didn't love her.
Yeah.
I was just lusting.
I was so afraid. Now I realize love is never wrong, and so it never dies.
Come on now.
Welcome to the Truth Talk Podcast, where we uncover the hidden truths and untold stories. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guest, and they aim to bring light to the unspoken realities of life. The content shared here is for informational purposes only, and it is not intended to replace professional advice. Listener discretion is advised. Now, to the podcast.
Truth Talk, voices up loud and clear. Truth Talk, what you need to hear. Truth Talk, breaking it down. Truth Talk, all over town.
Hey, how's it? We're back. Season 2. It's Mjolo. It's Mjolo. My name is Jason, the Soulful Nerd, and I'm excited to be here on our first episode of Season 2.
Yes, I'm so excited to finally we are back.
And you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My name is Makawe Luna. Yes.
Okay.
I'm still the inspired content creator. And this season, this episode, well, not just this episode, this whole season,
We're talking about relationships.
you're going to see how inspired I am.
Yeah. I know you you're in love with love.
No, I think this will be an exciting season.
Okay.
And I look forward to it. Forward to it. And one thing that we need to highlight is this entire season, it's not going to be just us.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of guests on this show.
Interesting guests.
I hope you'll enjoy what they will share.
Yeah.
And we'll learn from them as they learn from us too.
Yeah. I hope no one learns from me.
Why not?
No, because look, and at my age, I'm still single, and so you don't want to copy. You don't want to copy me because you get to my age.
Let me say this. I'm not a prophet, but I think I could be a prophet by the end of the 17th episode, which is our last episode in this season. You won't be single.
Hey, I like the prophecy.
Yeah, you won't be single. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Yeah. So anyway, today's episode is entitled "Help! Love's not at its desk."
Where has it gone to?
That's the question. Love has left the building.
Okay.
Love has left the building. Look,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was apprehensive
Yeah.
about doing a season on Mjolo.
Uh-huh.
Because one, Mjolo is always going to be an emotive issue.
Okay.
Everyone assumes that they're the best lover around.
Mm-hmm.
Even single people like me think, no, I'm going to be a better husband than that guy.
Okay.
I remember a pastor you and I once drove somewhere who was saying, he thought when he started out in marriage, he would be the best husband ever.
Yeah.
Only to find that, he's quite human too. So it's a very emotive issue. Everyone thinks they're the best lover or thinks they're an expert on love.
Mm-hmm.
And at that, they're both right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, there are lots of uncomfortable questions around Mjolo. But
which needs to be addressed.
Yeah, but although I was apprehensive at first,
Uh-huh.
as we were preparing for this thing, I thought, no, man, this is actually going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because I'm interviewing people, so it means I'm listening to them and
Less talking,
Yeah.
more listening.
More listening.
Which is cool. Yeah, I think it's good to learn from the experiences of others and get to appreciate what they have to share.
Yeah, I have interesting questions because if I mean, I want to ask, about single people. If you're living single, is it wrong then to stock protective gear just in case? Just in case.
Well,
you see, those are the sort of questions. Yeah, the questions that because I think we need to ask the questions that people are afraid to ask.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. That I think in this episode we'll try and get to the crux of those issues.
Okay.
Because there are many people who are struggling with certain things, certain issues. They have questions, that they have. No one is asking them, so no one is answering them. And the reason why we're going to have a lot of guests is because we don't have a monopoly of knowledge. So we realize this is a topic that we are not experts in. We don't know much about it. We are just two young guys who are willing to learn. So we'll have other guys come in and help us.
Especially me as a single guy.
Yeah.
I could learn a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, I mean, why are we always crying about Mjolo? Because everybody, Mjolo, pandemic, Mjolo. I mean, just this evening before today before I was somebody in a WhatsApp group was saying, no, let's just leave Mjolo alone.
Yeah, it's because, to be honest, it might sound cliche or it has been said over and over again, but the truth is we don't understand what love is.
Okay.
Right? And because we have a misconception of what love is, we'll always cry about it. Let me give not really an example. What can I say? What is love? It has been defined in many ways. This is that. The definition that I've come across that I think for me is the best definition of love. It says that love is an act of the will accompanied by emotions.
Okay.
Leading to action on behalf of the object.
Okay.
Right. So there's a combination of things.
Again, please. It's an act of.
It's an act of the will.
Okay.
Accompanied by emotions. Leading to an action on behalf of the object. You know why I like this definition?
It's illegal. Okay.
Yeah.
It's countercultural.
Exactly. Yeah, because there are people who think that love is all about emotions.
Okay.
The will is not involved. When it says an act of the will, I believe it's talking about that you have a choice to make.
Okay.
And so, Jason, if you have a choice to make, it means you have standards that have been set that will help you to be the measure or the determiner of your choice. Okay. So, for example, I need a slim girl with wide hips and she's light in complexion and blah, 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 right? Maybe let's add other things there. She must be God-fearing, whatever. So you have a criteria of measurement, right? And that's the criteria of measurement that you will use to screen out people who don't fit into your criteria.
Okay.
So when we say it's an act of the will, it's not existing in a vacuum.
Okay.
You are basing it on something. So these are the things that I look for in a woman. Okay. So that's the act of the will. But it has to be accompanied by emotion because it's a sin. I'll declare this.
Okay.
It's a sin to be in a relationship with someone that you do not have feelings for.
Boom. Sure.
So you have to feel something.
Okay.
Right? So accompanied by the emotion and resulting in action. So then we say love is a principle of action because it must result in an action on behalf of the object that you love. Okay. So we cry of Mjolo because we skip some of these ingredients. Okay. So I get into a relationship because the girl looks sexy and I'm moved, my emotions and things start happening, blood starts running. Okay. And I feel like, I need to get this one in between the sheets. Next thing it's done, we're in between the sheets. Then I realized I didn't love her.
Yeah.
I was just lusting.
Yeah.
Next thing we are crying. Jesus. Or I get into a relationship because of man blood. So we miss the ingredients required for people to. So we'll always cry of Mjolo.
Okay.
As long as we skip the stages.
Yeah, I like the fact that you've brought in the aspect of this overly sentimental thing. I just today I was thinking of a song from a feature film I watched as a child.
Uh-huh.
And it goes something like I
Ding,
was
ding,
so
ding, ding.
afraid. Now I realize love is never wrong, and so it never dies.
Come on now.
Then I'm thinking, those
Man, this episode's gonna be a bomb. Jason is singing. Talk about love.
I'm thinking,
Okay.
that's a stupid lyric. Love is never wrong.
Like, actually, if you listen to most of those songs, love songs, bruh, they fall short of what true love is.
Yeah, there isn't will. There isn't talk of will and thinking things through. It's I know if you're thinking, it's not love.
Yeah, the things they say. So I think in addition to that, what you're saying, I think the movies, the novels, the whatever have painted this picture of love. I think all of us, most of us growing up, we thought love comes when you bump into someone, books fall down, you both got down trying to pick the books, then you look at each other, then it's that moment, there's a song, the wind whispers a song, and all of a sudden I'm in love. Like
another thing
it's like a spell that's cast on you, right?
Dad, it's those those romantic comedies. At the end, the guy decides, no, I actually really love this chick, and she's gonna catch a plane and fly out, and so he's running through the airport, ding, 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 ding.
Why? Why does that sound like an Indian movie? Yeah.
Please. And then some time ago, not too long ago, somebody asked me, Jason, what's your dream woman like? And I said, I dream about money. I don't dream about women. And they said, no, that's why you're single. Like,
no, but way to go. Yeah, we have this wrong picture of love that has been painted. And so for us, it's a fantasy. It's not, love doesn't come down to reality. Love, so it's all about and they lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
So now, how can there be a happily ever after when now she's sick and she's throwing up and we can't cuddle anymore because she has some sores all over her body.
Yeah.
That's where love shines, right?
Yeah.
But we were never taught that love can go through, what do they call in good or bad. We always think those vows are just, we are just saying, they're good. But those are real things that actually get to the core of what love is, right? Okay. So as long as we have this misunderstanding of love, we'll always cry about Mjolo.
Yeah, we'll cry.
Yeah, we'll cry.
But are we different from our parents and grandparents? Because when you're younger, you think, what do these guys know about love? And then when you're older, you hear people, Okoko too. Mama too. And you think, okay, so you swung from one side, one extreme that says, these older folks know next to nothing. Our parents didn't fall in love. They bumped into each other and got married and bumped into each other and had children. But then you swing to the other extreme where you're thinking,
those guys had it better.
They lived in heaven.
Yeah. And you remember that reel that we once did, where we were saying bring back arranged marriages.
Oh, that one was popular.
Yeah, and you're thinking, so guys.
No, we didn't do that reel. You did that reel.
Oh, well, yeah, but then you think, okay, so guys, you're now thinking, let's go back to the ways of our parents.
Okay.
Because they had it better. I think they understood love better because arranged marriages seem to work.
Yeah.
Now we are laying aside our philosophies and all our whatever theories.
It's not working. It's not working. 36 and not married, 37 and not married. Hey, maybe we should bring back arranged
marriages.
Or even get into polygamous ones. Yeah.
You see, so are we any different from our parents? I'd say yes and no, maybe.
Okay.
Yes and no. We are different in the sense that we are more exposed.
Okay.
I'll give an example. The other thing that is killing us
Okay.
is we are spoiled for choice in terms of availability,
Okay.
but not in terms of marriageability. I don't know if there is such a word.
Okay. There's some people who will only be girlfriends or boyfriends.
Exactly.
Never husbands.
Never husbands. Yes. So there are too many fish in the sea, only to realize that there is only one fish that is edible. The rest are poisonous.
Okay.
Right? So our parents on the other side, our fathers, they'll probably know one or two beautiful girls, and they'll know just one or two beautiful girls for all their life. Like, there's that one beautiful girl in the village, because they were not exposed to the outside world.
Okay.
They'll know just that one beautiful girl, that 2, 3, 4. There were not so many anyway, and that's all they knew. That's all there was. And they were also limited to their surroundings. So they would know that a man has these roles in this society. A woman has these roles in this society. This is what men do. This is what women do. A beautiful girl is like that. Girls who dress like this are not marriage material or whatever.
Yeah, we don't marry girls like that.
We don't marry girls like that.
Yeah.
But now we live in a global village
Okay.
where I'm in Zimbabwe, but I'm so exposed to the American culture that I know more outside of my context, and I get confused, and I think I'm spoiled for choice, because if she does this, let her go, I'll get another one, only to realize that there is not really another one. You get the point. So yes, they're different from us, and no,
so in a way it's like we're saying that unlike us, they were a little more pragmatic in the approach.
Yeah.
But then we're like them in that the fundamental human nature has not changed.
Exactly.
I think
you put it in much better words.
Yeah, they were able.
I don't know if in this season you'll caught Bible nerds or love nerds.
No, I'm just saying. Saying. But no, they have. They how to put it, the fundamental human nature's changed, but I think their approaches allowed them to take more of that into account as they're making decisions. It wasn't just is he handsome, how much does he have a source of income that isn't his parents, does she is she well known by everyone around? And how do they know?
Exactly.
What kind of family does she come from?
You see that thing that you mentioned? In this generation, we are taught that what matters is the two of us.
Yeah.
The rest don't matter.
Yeah.
It's just you and me, what they tell us. But in their generation,
all I need in this life of sin is me and my girlfriend.
Only that. And we forget that, there are other things. Back in our parents' time, they knew that this person, you don't only get to know about her. It's not just about the two of you.
Yeah.
Which family does she come from? What kind of family does she come from? Because back in the day, there were people, even today, people who are involved in witchcraft, spiritualism, and all those other things. Then you marry someone unknowingly from that family. And probably she's the next witch in line in her family. And because it's just about the two of you. Nowadays, we ignore those things. We get married to people whom we don't know their families at all. We don't know what kind of families they come from. What things are my children going to inherit? Because some things are hereditary and they're passed from one generation to another. So we ignore all those other things and think we are wiser than the previous generation, not realizing that
we're not really different.
We shouldn't reinvent the wheel. We have nothing new to offer.
So this season, guests coming in to talk about masculinity and femininity. What is a man? What is a woman? What do they need from each other and stuff like that? Online dating. Getting ready for marriage. Or bundle of joy. Kids.
Getting ready for marriage is for you, because after this episode, we are planning a wedding for you.
For me. Okay. That's good. So what kind of family does she come from? Anyway. Okay, how to avoid divorce,
Yeah.
going through divorce, remarriage, and living single.
Yeah. So in,
Yeah.
in essence, we are going to move right across the spectrum
Yeah.
from finding a life partner
Yeah.
to marriage to divorce and to living a single life.
Yeah.
Just crossing a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole gamut.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That.
Hey, Salom Sevens.
Axlom 7.
Yeah.
But fear not.
So, but anyway, why do we keep going back? Because Mjolo knocks us down. And we go back. People even divorce and get remarried. I remember attending a cousin's remarriage once, and a mutual cousin said, I hope this one stays, because the way this guy's life is going, you'll be chatting with him and he'll say, my ex-wife. Which one? That one? No, the other one.
Aish.
That one? No, the other one. Because I think it was his 5th marriage or something.
Yeah.
So, but
they-
people keep going back.
Going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get. Yeah. There's a book. Well, I think it's this book. Human Moments. So I was given this book by my wife.
Yes, man. No.
You know, this book actually talks about human moments
Okay.
and the idea that we are human.
Okay.
And I'll read a statement here that says something at the back here. After food,
Mhm.
sleep, and shelter, human beings have one overriding need: connection.
Ah!
And it says we literally cannot live without it. Connection. So, what am I saying? In as much as Mjolo beats us left, right, and center,
Okay.
at the fundamental level, we are human beings.
Okay.
We long for partnership. No matter how bad things go, you sit down and realize, I need a partner in my life.
Okay.
I need to have someone to share this life thing with, to carry the burden of life with.
Okay.
And life is better when shared with someone else, right?
Okay.
So we keep going back to it because that's who we are as human beings.
Okay.
The analogy that I can use, the one that I can use, is of a woman who gets pregnant. You know, when you hear them talking about pregnancy, that thing, it's too much. You know, they go through labor and it's so painful, right? And say, I'm never having a baby again. Give her 2 years. She wants another baby.
My mom is a midwife. She would say, next year,
Uh-huh.
same woman, same bed,
Exactly.
same story.
You see? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's wired in us.
Okay.
You know, we are not creatures of evolution, if I may put it that way.
Okay.
We are creatures who are a result of a deliberate design by a maker
Okay.
who designed us as social beings,
Okay.
right? And as such, you know, there are things that are embedded in us, in our DNA, in our makeup, that make us desire and long for these connections. And we'll keep going back.
Reminds me of you just brought up a memory of a book I read.
Mhm.
Contrary to popular belief, I'm not anti-love.
Okay.
You know what?
Contrary to popular belief.
Once I asked
The guy who's famous for being anti-love.
I asked people once, I said, okay, here's a situation. Jason's in the cinema. He's watching a movie with his girlfriend. His girlfriend complains that her feet are cold.
Uh-huh.
Which of these responses do you think Jason would go with? A, tell her to cut her feet off so that they don't feel cold anymore.
Before I even hear B and C, Jason will go for A.
Okay.
But anyway.
B, ignore her. C, rub her feet until they're warm.
A.
Most people said A. Jason goes
Obvious.
A or
Obvious.
B. A. One cousin of mine said to me, I think you'd even laugh at your girlfriend if she had a bad hair day. And then I said to them, actually, this situation isn't hypothetical. It happened.
Uh-huh.
And I went for option C. And I didn't rub anything else besides her feet, by the way. But I rubbed her feet until they were warm. And the people who said, there is no way. There is no way. They said,
know you're still going on with the story, but well, I'm stuck on you didn't rub anything else.
Nothing else besides the feet.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
until the warm, and then
I trust
yeah,
you.
and then yeah. So, but I was reading this relationship book, and this guy talked about how he was in a postgraduate class
Mm-hmm.
where with certain ladies who were ardent man-hating feminists, and he said one day he started talking about connection.
Okay.
He said they softened up
Mm,
and they started listening.
okay.
There's just something about connection.
Connection.
Yeah. We keep going back to Mjolo.
Yeah.
And we act so nonchalant about Mjolo. Like, oh, I remember when I spoke to some people, right? And I said, no, we're going to do a season on Mjolo. I said, another season on Mjolo. Yeah. And then we spent the whole afternoon talking about Mjolo.
Mjolo. You know, the way we're so nonchalant about those things.
And we had an episode in the first season
yeah.
that people thought was about Mjolo.
Mjolo.
And the views just shut up.
To prove that this is not just maybe, just maybe,
Okay.
it has been done wrong.
Okay. Or there is that. Okay, fine. Continue.
Yeah, I know. I'm just on that thread. Maybe, and so we hope this season
Right.
will do it right and address the things that matter, and get to the crux of it, hoping to restore love.
Yeah.
Heal the world,
Make
a better place. Exactly.
No, but also, I think there's a deliberate, insidious construct
Mm.
that wants to make us cynical
Yeah.
about love.
Not just.
We're not supposed to be together. Somebody
Yeah.
doesn't want us together.
Yeah.
And I think it's a sad thing that so many young people have been robbed of their optimism
Ish.
about love and have become cynical, not just about love, but about everything.
For everything.
I think there is nothing as tragic as a cynical young person.
Gosh.
But God is in love with love too.
Yes.
And we'll be back to discuss that in the next
The
segment.
next
For
segment.
now, just subscribe, share, and love somebody. Hopefully not somebody else's spouse.
And rub someone's feet.
Yeah, until they're warm.
And hopefully just the feet alone.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Mjolo.
As you peg.
So,
Yeah. So
help. Love's not at its desk. That's our title today.
Yeah. And when we went for a break, we were talking about the fact that God loves love.
Yeah, he loves love.
We are lutando.
Yeah.
Yes.
And which is our next section called
Yeah.
The Wedding Book.
Okay.
The Wedding Book.
Yeah.
And Genesis 2, verse 18.
Yep.
New English Translation
Mm-hmm.
says, The Lord God said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a companion for him who corresponds to him.
To him. Yeah. For me, what's grabbing my attention here is the word corresponds to him. You know, I think we don't talk about that a lot.
Okay.
That when you're looking for someone to marry, you should look for someone who corresponds to you in more modern terms.
Gotta have correspondence.
Yes. In more modern terms, look for someone whom you click with,
Okay.
someone you have chemistry with. If you find yourself with someone you don't have a chemistry with, break up.
Sure.
You can't. I think it's a big crime to marry someone that you don't have chemistry with.
Sure.
Because you can they say you can manufacture everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not kind, you can teach him to be kind.
Yeah.
If he has no money or if she has no money,
You can rob a bank.
you can rob a bank.
Something. Do something.
Yeah, if she can't cook, you can teach her how to cook.
Okay.
But you cannot manufacture chemistry. You cannot.
Yeah.
Either it's there or it's not there.
But at church, I remember this one guy. He says, there was this girl who was, outspoken, very active at church and
Yeah.
whatever. And his mom, I guess, was dropping a hint says, I like that girl. She's a good girl. And he's thinking, I have no interest in her
Zero feelings.
whatsoever.
Zero.
I remember I was somewhere a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was at a camp somewhere, and somebody says to me, that girl, you're a church guy, and she's a churchy girl. I think you guys would be good together. And I said,
No.
buzzer.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
You know, it's like people want to force things that are not there.
Yeah.
If we don't click, for me, that's a measure. By the way, that's the measure that I use.
Okay.
Whether I'll continue talking to someone or not.
Okay.
If we don't click in the first few in the first week of talking,
okay,
if we don't click, then I move to I find someone else. Because
do you ghost, or did you ghost before you met your wife? Would you ghost, or would you taper it off like
Jason, how many times did I call you? You are no. Okay. So the good thing about talking to someone that you don't have a chemistry with, is that you don't really need to ghost that person.
Okay.
The conversation will
just
die.
Fizzle out.
Yeah, it will just die a natural death.
Okay.
Because first of all, you'll be talking, right?
Yeah.
And you have a lot to talk about because you are new. So you can ask, where did you go for school?
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Then you reach a point where there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And
I remember one lovely lady. Oh, she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a picture? Let's see.
Yeah, okay, I can show you the picture.
No, we won't show it on the screen.
No, well, I don't have it here.
Okay.
She's beautiful. And I thought, hey, let me talk to this chick, and we're talking, and then, hey, after a while I realized, every time I've never phoned this woman because I've never called her, because even just texting, I have to rehearse. I find myself rehearsing what we're going to say. And I'm like, you know what, Jason, let's just let it go.
And you go on Google and say what to say to a girl for the first date, questions to asking. Yeah, actually, I worked with someone who told me that same thing. He told me that if you find yourself going on Google to Google those questions to say what to say to a girl first time, then leave it. Yeah. She's not. You shouldn't.
So I
shouldn't be mechanical. You ghosted it.
I ghosted. I don't know if that's good or
my man.
Just that, there's no point.
Well,
let it go.
Well, you're brave. That's why I'm giving you this bump. You're brave. I'm not that brave, so I allow things to fizzle out naturally.
Yeah, there's just some point where I just stopped talking to her. I said, there's no point. But anyway, I think she wasn't feeling it either because she ghosted too.
Yeah. So, well, now I'm getting carried away on that. Yeah, but I was on the concept of the book that you read that says that God made someone a companion for him who corresponds with him. And that thing is important. We overlook it. We overlook it a lot. And yet, the book of love is saying that.
No, you gotta correspond.
You gotta correspond, man. Yeah, you have to click. And I suppose the correspondence is just beyond the chemistry.
Yeah.
You have to have shared beliefs. Yeah. You must have shared values, and etc.
It helps if you're both human.
Yeah. It helps if you're both vegetarian. No, it helps. I'm saying it helps. Not that you can, if you are vegetarian, you cannot marry someone who's not vegetarian. You can, but it helps if you both are. You get
not too many pots on the stove.
Exactly. I actually know a lot of guys who were vegetarian before marriage. Now, if you find them, they eat a whole chicken, alone.
Sure.
I don't know which meat they tasted that made them.
I think I could guess.
But you get to say that I've had even outside of Christian circles.
Yeah.
Certain people say, people from different religious denominations can marry each other. I always say, yeah, they can. But it helps if they come from the same, because they have shared beliefs.
Okay.
So it's easy. A friend of mine loves to say that eliminate all possible or all eliminate all non-potential causes of conflict before marriage.
Okay.
You are
Try to make it easier for yourself.
exactly, because conflict is inevitable.
Okay.
So if you get into marriage with non-possible causes of conflict, then you're putting yourself in trouble.
Okay.
So where you know that I can eliminate conflict by finding someone with shared beliefs with me, blah, blah, then I can face the unknown conflict.
Okay.
Because the non-conflict I've dealt with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because also when it comes to the helpmeet part,
Yeah.
A story time.
Story time.
There was some time I was working in a workshop somewhere,
Yeah.
and we were talking about diapers. Some guy said, "You know what? Our drains in town are full of diapers. We've got lazy women around. People should go back to using nappies."
Uh-huh.
So I said, "Okay, would you help your wife wash the nappies? Because the idea behind diapers is you don't have to wash them."
Yeah.
And then the guy said, "But she's supposed to be my helper." So now my next statement is unrepeatable.
Yeah.
So I will sanitize it.
Uh-huh.
I asked them if parts of the anatomy unique to women were used to wash nappies. And these are parts above the belt, and they were not amused. The other men were not amused, to put it mildly. But then, okay, coming away from that, the idea of this, I picked a version that said companion instead of helpmeet.
Yeah.
Because Bible nerds, you said, "Hey, I'm gonna quote Bible nerds."
Yeah.
Because Bible nerds say the word for companion used there is Ezer, or sometimes they put Eitzer.
Yeah.
Eitzer. Or
Ebenezer.
yeah, Ebenezer. So sometimes God is our Etzer.
Yeah.
He has been a help in our trouble.
Yeah.
So it's a helper, but it's a rescuer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not somebody who's subservient.
No.
Yeah. It's not somebody who's less than you.
Mm-hmm.
Your helpmeet is somebody who actually comes to rescue you. You're in trouble.
Ye-
So when God's, I'm gonna create a rescuer who clicks with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she comes to rescue.
Yeah.
So this is not it's not talking about a subordinate.
No. So men need rescue.
Yeah. So there's something, because when the earthling, I like to call him the earthling. When the earthling is put in the garden, he's supposed to tend and keep it, but there's some vulnerability he has alone.
Yes.
So that connection thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
So someone is sent to rescue him.
Okay. Yeah. But I think when you talk about vulnerability, it touches a lot of things, but maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it later. It's coming up because there are many men who hide behind masculinity and decide not to be vulnerable, but love is not possible without vulnerability on both parties.
Doesn't work.
Indoda cannot be vulnerable to a woman. It's a sign of weakness, but okay, I think we'll get to those parts. Yeah.
So moving on also to Genesis 2 verse 22.
Yeah.
Same translation, New English translation. It says, "Then the Lord God made a woman from the part he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man."
Mm-hmm.
And Bible nerds say the made, banal, build.
The word made is what? Banal.
Yeah, banal. I don't know.
Which is okay. Which means to build.
Build. It's the same word that Genesis 4 verse 17 uses for when Cain builds a city.
Oh, okay. So it says, then the Lord God made a woman. So in other words, the Lord God built a woman.
Yeah, constructed. I don't know if she was pear-shaped or L-shaped or hourglass-shaped.
Yeah.
I wonder.
But she was beautiful.
She was built.
Coming from the hand of the maker. She was built.
Ubunjiwe.
Yeah. It sounds better in Ndebele. Ubunjiwe.
Yeah.
Do a deep
shot.
Finish.
With your internal jokes. People complained about our internal jokes. Okay. Yeah. So Ubunjiwe.
Yeah.
She's built.
Okay.
But it's construction language.
I get you. Construction language.
So again, that idea of
I was just concerned. Why are you saying built?
yeah. No, it's
like you could have said built. But you're saying built. But it's fine.
It's just a J. You know, she was built. Okay,
yeah.
Built. Ging, ging, ging. So it's
construction language.
And cities. When you look at Cain built a city.
Mm.
Cities in Bible times were fortresses.
Yeah.
Again, there's this idea of rescuing, of safety.
Yeah.
So the relationship is meant to be a fortress.
Yeah.
And of course, it gets tragic later on because the woman who is supposed to rescue him becomes the tempter. She's subcontracted by the snake to tempt the man.
Yeah.
And so she brings danger instead of bringing security, safety.
Yeah.
But then, so that's the idea that God built the woman. She's his rescuer. And so she's a fortress. And he built her.
Yeah.
Construction language. It's not lovey-dovey, hearts.
No,
things,
it's
there's something real.
Building suggests
tangible. Something.
It also suggests a process.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a poof. It's there. Like it's a process. When you're building, you have to take it step by step.
Yeah.
So I like the concept that you're bringing up to say, so when God is, I now want to put it in our context.
Yeah. Okay, before you go there,
okay,
I want to add something to help you.
Yeah.
She was the woman of his dreams.
Yeah.
Because he was asleep when God built her.
Yeah. When God built it. Yeah.
We'll talk about that more.
Yeah. Because where I was going with this is now we cannot say we are not like Adam, where God builds a woman for us.
Okay.
Like creating from scratch.
Okay.
Right. But how he builds not just a woman, us individually.
Okay.
It suggests that there are certain things that we need to work on.
Okay.
Or God works on those things in us before we can qualify
to be brought together.
To something. So when God is preparing us for marriage, he allows us to go through the similar process of being built.
Okay.
More like a construction process where he's building the overall human being to prepare you to correspond to the partner that you'll meet.
Wow.
Right. So he's building you either spiritually, character-wise, everything.
Okay.
Because marriage, so it suggests that you cannot be someone's companion until you have been built.
Okay.
Companionship starts with the process of being built.
Okay.
Unfortunately, other people want to jump into companionship without going through the process of being built.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Bible doesn't go very far before there's a wedding.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it starts off with a wedding.
Yeah. Actually, we need to highlight something here. Adam was not forced to take Eve.
Yeah.
He chose.
Yeah.
In as much as Eve was brought to him, he allowed to act in accordance with his will.
Yeah.
Expressed himself emotionally and acted on behalf of his object.
Okay.
The definition I was giving at first. So it's an act of the will accompanied by an emotion. Right? And then you act out.
And it's so vital.
Yeah.
when you read in the Bible to take note of name changes.
Yeah.
Because name changes, one Bible nerd said, name changes show a change in understanding.
Yeah.
She's not called his wife until he says.
Yes.
And God doesn't say anything. It says he brought her to him.
And that was it.
And then, so even God can't force her on him as his wife.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, it reminds me of something a lady said. She's a lady we both know.
Okay.
I can't remember if you were there at the time when she said it. And she said, there are a lot of marital problems whose silent cause is that the man didn't choose the wife freely. It's very embarrassing for a man to say, I was manipulated into marriage.
Yeah.
It's not massive, it's not macho.
It's not macho, yeah.
He may never actually say it out.
Yeah.
But deep down, the trouble is that deep down, he looks at this other woman and says, you know what, Mina, I didn't choose.
I didn't choose you. There's something that you always say that certain marriages begin with I do and others begin with I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
and you were trapped into impregnating this girl, and because you're a good Christian boy who can't give away your responsibility of taking care of a child, and you say, okay, I'll get into this marriage, but given a choice, you'll say, this is not what I've chosen. And that's always the source of problems, whether in marriage, whether in relationships, when you get into something that is not your choice, whether your friends have recommended, you know what, Jason, there's a good girl that I know, and you know what, you guys are a good match for each other. But this is me saying, you guys are not seeing it, right? So God just brings Eve and says nothing. Then it's Adam who starts to say, blah, 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 blah. She shall be called woman.
Which is essentially a long way of saying, girl, unpack your bags. You're not going nowhere.
Yeah, you are mine. Yeah. So it doesn't go very far before there is a wedding. And that's a beautiful love story, how it builds up to where we are now.
Now, when we jump forward to the end of the Bible, the last book of the Bible, book of Revelation, there's something else to notice. Revelation 21 verse 2. I'm reading from the Free Bible version. I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, descending from God out of heaven, prepared like a bride made beautiful for her husband.
Prepared.
Yeah.
It's reminding me of the word built.
Yeah.
It keeps coming back.
So the Bible starts with Mjolo
and ends with Mjolo. In between Mjolo. Yeah. It's I think it's a topic that we shouldn't just rush over and think, we're experienced, like you said when we started. Everyone thinks they're good, they're the best, they're good at love. But there are so many things that we need to learn about this Mjolo thing so that our hearts may be safeguarded. Otherwise, heartbreak is our lot as long as we don't understand this Mjolo thing.
Ding, ding, ding. I can't do this no more. Let's just be friends.
Yes. There's a girl who elders on me.
Sure. That's a you one. That's a you one.
Started calling me elder. Now, you know, when you're called elder, now you can't ask it out. Because you're an elder, right? And you're like, what?
Yeah, that's a new one. Something. The whole book of Revelation has wedding language from the start. No,
actually.
Listen to what the Spirit and the bride say. The bride.
The bride. Yeah.
The woman dressed in white. And,
it's all
dressed in the sun.
Yeah.
So there's the woman, the bride, and there's a not so faithful woman in the book of Revelation, to put it mildly. I don't want to use a strong term.
Yeah.
She's naughty.
Yeah.
and them sickers.
You know what? And the Bible says that she has an account, you know,
Yeah.
an account where all the kings of the earth have subscribed to her account, and they go to this account and commit whoredoms with
Yeah.
her. Yeah. It's
So-
an interesting language.
But there's a funny thing about this wedding at the end. Inside the city, Jesus is busy with Mjolo.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the city, the devil is busy with war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And somebody said, that's a clear picture of the nature of these two
Institutions.
at war.
Yeah.
That when you get to the core, there's, like you said, inside there's a Jesus who's all about connections.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one who's all about cutting things off.
Things off. Yeah.
That's, if you want to know what the devil is like,
Mm.
he's all about war. If you want to know what Jesus is like, he's all about connections,
Yeah.
relationships.
So you're saying it's either you're in love or you're at war.
Yeah. And they say all's fair now.
Yeah.
And war.
Yeah. So if you don't follow the process,
Okay.
if you choose wrong, the rest of your life you'll be at war.
Sure.
But if you do it right, the rest of your life
Be in love.
you'll be in love.
Man.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to look at this whole season.
Mhm.
How to not be at war.
Oh, I like that.
And-
How to not be at war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to be in love.
How to be in love. Yeah.
So upcoming episodes soon, and we're gonna talk about romance, naskam.
Romance. Don't wait for that.
Scam.
Yeah. Well, I just hope we actually did justice to laying the foundation of what love is, and well, hopefully we.
So it's not weird that we're crazy about Mjolo,
No.
that we keep going back,
No, it's not.
because Sifuzili, we're in God's image.
Yes.
He's crazy about Mjolo.
He's crazy about Mjolo. He's actually called love.
Yeah.
So we are of our Father,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So I think don't let anybody make you feel silly, asinine,
If you talk about
just because you're not cynical about love.
exactly.
I think it's tragic and to be cynical about love, but it is godly to have a correct attitude towards love.
love. Yes. Huh. Fair discussion.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Kick it off.
Kick it off.
Mjolo. So yeah, thanks for
watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe, because this season is gonna be a bang.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. You don't wanna miss any of the episodes. And well, we're going to be doing less than 1 hour.
Yeah.
For all episodes, because
We've heard the cry.
we've had the cries. Our episodes are too long. But well, if we get too excited and carried away, there's a lot to talk about.
3 hour.
Yeah, 3 hour Mjolo episode. We can do that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
from me, Jason, the soulful nerd.
And from me, Makawe, the inspired content creator.
Peace.
Out. See you next time.